What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another offseason rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who just had 4 draft picks in the 2022 draft, Chet Holmgren being the most notable. They took him number 2 overall. Nobody's really surprised by that. This Thunder team is obviously super young, not yet quite competitive, but in the next couple years, man, I wouldn't be surprised if they were the top of the Western Conference. And I say that just purely out of the flexibility that this team has. There's obviously a ton of young talent on this team. Shea's going to probably be most likely our point guard the entire video. Josh Giddey's probably going to be technically our shooting guard. Whatever combo guard role you kind of want to run with them in there. Obviously, there's a lot of young talent on this team, and I think there's the potential to make a lot of moves that can definitely alter the trajectory of this franchise. And of course, finally, real quick, before we do get into this video, I put out a poll on Twitter asking what order you guys want me to go in for these post-draft prospect rebuilds. Do you want me to go in order from picks? And that's actually what you guys mostly voted on. That was the majority. So we're going to probably be going through the entire lottery. Obviously, we did the Magic one just a couple days ago. This is going to be the Thunder one. And then we'll get into the Rockets, and we'll just continue to go down the line. So I'm happy to do that. If you guys do not want to see that, let me know in the comment section. Of course, while you're down there, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. And yeah, any other video ideas you guys want to see, even if they're not post-draft prospect rebuilds, I'm excited and happy to do them for you. Just let me know down below in the comment section. And finally, if you think my eye's a little fucked up, it's because it is. I had pretty bad eye infection. I had glasses on in my video the other day. I took a couple days off just because it was hard to see, but whatever. Yeah, I know it's a little fucked up still. But without further ado, man, we got bigger problems. Let's get into this Thunder rebuild. Hopefully get them a championship. I was actually able to find a shared file that had all of the post-draft rookies and everything like that, all on their teams that they're supposed to be on. So if you want to use it, if you have a PS5 and you want to use the shared file, I believe it's one of the top ones. It's just called post-draft pre-free agency, something along the lines of that. And I went through the entire roster. It looks to be decent enough because I think this is way more up to date than what I had. I didn't have any second round picks, anything like that, and this game has it all, or this shared file has it all. So I'm going to roll with it. Hopefully nothing's, kind of off. If you guys see anything that doesn't look right, let me know down below in the comment section. But this is the start point I have to be at. It's free agency. The qualifying offer phase is all, they've kind of gone through that. Same with team player options. So I apologize just the way it sits right now. But, this shared file looked too good to pass up on. So we enter our first offseason here with this Thunder team. Again, I don't know if we'll necessarily be competitive in the first season. By year number 2, though, I definitely do want to be a competitive basketball team. So we'll go through the roster. Obviously, Shea's not going anywhere. If you didn't know, he's actually one of my favorite players in the entire league. I really do like him. I wish my Celtics had a player like him. He's going to probably be our point guard the entire video, followed by Ty Jerome, who, again, just a backup. I don't really care. Josh Giddey, what was he, 4th, 6th overall pick in the 2021 draft. Very impressive rookie campaign from him. I'm excited to build around him. I think he has a very bright future in this league. Him and Shea are going to be a very good backcourt. They already are, but they're going to be even more impressive in the years to come. Trey Mann, backup shooting guard, not a bad option. Again, the thing with the Thunder and a team like this is I'm actually happy they kind of cashed in on some of those draft picks and moved up in the draft and kind of made a couple trades throughout the draft. And I say that not in a bad way. It's always good to have assets, especially if you're a rebuilding team, in my opinion. But when you kind of look at what the Thunder have, they have so many young players and so many assets that eventually, if you start developing these players and they start to hit restricted free agency, you're not going to be able to pay them all. And that's only probably in a couple years' time. So I think the Thunder kind of cashing in on some of those assets is honestly a really good move. I'm not saying that was for Trey Mann, but this is one of the Jalen Williams. Was he the 1st or 2nd round pick? He was the 12th overall pick. That's what I thought. Santa Clara, 6'6", shooting guard here for us. I'd like to develop him. You typically do want to develop the number 12 overall pick. So between him and Trey Mann, they'll kind of battle it out, but probably Mann at least for year number 1. Small forward spot, Lou Dort. I do like Lou Dort a lot. I just don't know if he's a starting small forward in a championship caliber team. And if you see something flashing behind me, it's because Game 6 of the Stanley Cup's on, and I am a hockey fan. Ousmane Dieng, I believe, was a little bit of a shocker pick. I guess the Knicks kind of took him and then traded him to the Thunder. He was number 11, so the Thunder did have technically back-to-back picks. But, yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. I don't know a ton about this prospect. He's an international prospect, obviously. I don't really know what my plans are going to be with him. But I'm going to roll with the punches for now and see what we can end up doing with him. I'm pretty sure he's actually pretty solid defensively, I think. I'm not 100% on that. I think that's what I read somewhere. Baisley and Poku, obviously, I actually like Poku a lot. We can see if we can progress him as well. I don't mind Baisley. Chet Holmgren's obviously the future here at that center spot. He's going to be starting, hopefully going to be our center of the entire video. Roby Favors, and then the other Jalen Williams. So he was the 2nd round pick, right? Yeah, he is. Okay, let's get into it. We obviously really don't have to sign any major free agents. I mean, Kyrie is here. We don't really have any money anyways. Not that I really would sign anybody. Honestly, it might be kind of the boring route, and I'm sorry about it, but we honestly might not make any signings, and we might just trade Derek Favors, because that's what it's kind of coming down to for me right now. I don't really think this team needs to make any big free agent signings. I think eventually we're going to have to pay our own players, and then maybe we can save a little bit of money for next year's free agency, something like that. So, yeah, anybody want to give me a first-round pick? The Memphis Grizzlies want to give me 2 first-round picks. For Derek Favors. That's fine by me. So it's going to be a 10-man rotation for year number 1. I also maybe wouldn't mind upgrading Ty Jerome, who's like, he's not a bad option. He's just also on an expiring contract. I think I could maybe get a little bit of a better backup point guard. Ty Jerome. If I can just get a first, then I can sign a point guard. I don't really care. This is a Portland pick. Lottery protected, though. Something a little bit better, perhaps. I'd like a 2023 pick. Lottery protected again, though. 26 from the Magic. 25 from the Pistons. That'd be in 2 years. That's the Rockets one. 24 top 10 protected. Just like a top 5 would be better. I'll take this pick from the Spurs. That's actually fine. And then I'm going to sign a backup point guard. I actually have money for like an Anthony Simons. I don't really think I need to go that route. I don't need anybody that good. Maybe somebody just like a little bit old. Like an Aaron Holiday is honestly not even that bad. He is restricted, but he's young enough that I think I can kind of maybe go ahead and pay him for, we'll give him $8 million per year for 2 years. If they want to match that, they can. I can go ahead and get somebody else, and they don't. So Aaron Holiday is going to be our new backup point guard. We now have a 10-man rotation. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 1 here in OKC. Here at the start of year number 1 for us in Oklahoma City, we really didn't make a ton of big moves or anything like that. A couple small-ish trades, one minor free agent signing. And this young core, I do think, is probably not going to be in the playoffs. And if we do, maybe we'll sneak in as a play-in team. But nonetheless, it's another developmental year, another year for these guys overall to progress, and they can hopefully get a little bit better. Starting 5 goes as follows. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, so no surprise in the backcourt. Lou Dort will still be starting. Ousmane Dieng maybe can get there at some point in time. I don't know if he's necessarily the scoring threat that I kind of want at that starting small forward spot, maybe eventually, even if that's not Lou Dort. But we'll roll with it for now. Lou Dort will still be starting. He's still definitely earned that spot. I'm going to start Poku. I like him a lot. I think he definitely has that potential, and honestly, starting these 2 7-footers is going to be absolutely insane. Obviously, Chet Holmgren, our starting center. The bench is young, but it's not a bad bench whatsoever. Trey Mann, our 6th man, followed by Darius Bazley, Isaiah Roby, Aaron Holiday, and Ousmane Dieng, only getting 10 minutes a night. I kind of do feel bad. It might hinder his progression a little bit, but again, I want to play the best guys the most minutes. I think that does make the most sense. So, also, I will show you right here, I sent Jalen Williams, the center, down to the G League. Again, he just really wasn't going to play here. It's not like older 2Ks where it's going to insanely boost his overall, or trust me, I do that a lot more than I actually do today. The other Jalen Williams will just be chilling on the bench here. Hopefully can go ahead and have him maybe eventually contribute to this squad if I move on from Trey Mann or whatever the situation may be. Is he expiring? No, he's got more years. And then the other Jalen Williams, as I mentioned, in the G League, maybe can be my backup center eventually. But we're in a good spot for now. I do think this team is probably not a playoff team, but maybe perennial, and again, still in the lottery. Best of both worlds, hopefully. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. We close out year number 1 with pretty much the least surprising thing ever. Luka Doncic wins MVP. I don't think that really should shock anybody. It happens pretty much 9.5 times out of 10 every time I do one of these rebuilds. We are the 9th seed here in the Western Conference, so we're in the play-in tournament. I didn't think we'd necessarily make it. I thought we'd be more on the verge, but hey, I'll still take it. And again, probably not going to be the highest pick that we wanted, but I'm still fine with this team having, at least a little bit of success. Chet Holmgren, your rookie of the year, 14.5 points, 9 boards, 4 assists for the 7-foot stud, 2.5 blocks a game as well, 44% from the field, 71% from the free throw line. I'd like to get that up a little bit, and almost 34% from beyond the arc. Brickleberry Simmons, congrats. Jonathan Isaac, there's a fucking bug flying around. Defensive player of the year, John Morant, most improved. He's very good at the game of basketball. Willie Green, your coach of the year. If you didn't know, the Pelicans turn into a cheat code in this game. Alrighty, we finished with a record of 41-41, so basically as 500 and as mid as you can kind of get, but I don't really think of us as a mid team. I think we're a lot better, and especially with our future trajectory. And would you look at that? 51-31 here for the Sacramento Kings. I'm probably not going to get to play them. I just kind of want to see who's in their starting 5. And how on earth is this a 3 seed here in the Western Conference? The Kings hit 51 wins. I have truly seen it all in this game. I really have. Shea Lettis in scoring, followed by Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Trey Mann, Poku, Darius Bazley, Isaiah Roby, Holiday. So I know I kind of mentioned a little bit before we did start semi-year number 1. I do think this team does need another scorer. And again, I'm not saying that the way this team's kind of built is a problem. I'm just saying I don't really love, the idea of trying to win a championship with a second leading scorer being at 14.5 points a game. And I know this is rookie year. It'll probably go up. I'm just saying I'd like to get somebody a little more solidified, whether that be at the shooting guard spot, the power forward spot, kind of the only two open, or not shooting guard, the small forward spot or the power forward spot. These fucking bugs, I'm going to fucking kill somebody. Are they really only the 2 potentially open spots for it? But we got a playoff matchup here. Before we move on, we do have the Spurs here. DeJounte Murray, wow, Bradley Beal signed with the Spurs. That is interesting. I'm actually excited to see what happens with DeJounte Murray. I think it'd be a dumb move for them to trade him, but you never know. They signed T.J. Warren as well, Devin Vassell. They had Ricky Rubio off the bench. It's a pretty good team. Wouldn't really be too surprised if we lost. we did lose. Let's sim the rest of the playoffs right now. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Probably going to be the Pelicans running through everything. It's actually the Memphis Grizzlies. They go on to win a championship here in the first season. Ja Morant wins Most Improved and then goes on to win Finals MVP. Congratulations, Ja Morant. They beat the 76ers in 6 games. Alrighty, let's hit the draft lottery, see if we have any picks. I saw, oh my God. All right, we got that Wizards pick right there. We got that Denver pick, and we got that Detroit pick. I actually don't think we have that Denver pick. I think the Knicks technically have it. I believe they do. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's lottery protected anyways. We end up with, I don't know, where Thunder, 13? We only have 13, and that looks like it's our own pick. So, yeah. And we also have 20 via Miami, and we have 30 via Memphis. Okay, I don't think we are supposed to, I'm pretty sure that, not Grizzlies, that Nuggets pick was in the trade to the Knicks for Ousmane Dieng. Pretty sure. I want to re-sign Mark. Where'd Mark go? Mark Daignault, or however the hell you pronounce it. Okay, here he is. I don't think he's necessarily the best head coach in the world, but he's doing a pretty good job, at least in my opinion, with this Oklahoma City team. I mean, he just made the play-in with a roster that, not necessarily, in my opinion, was talented enough to make the play-in, and is obviously very young as well. So, let's double check. Let's see what we got here in the pick department. 13, 20, and 30. So 3 first and 2 seconds. We are definitely in the business to make a trade. Let's do it. We're going to play a fun game and see how many of our first round picks, or how many of our picks this year in total, can get us the highest overall pick possible. I worded that really, really poorly. But we're starting out with number 5 here with the Orlando Magic. As I mentioned, we have 3 first round picks in 2 seconds. And this team is already deep enough where I only really need 1, and I might not even need 1 of those potential draft picks. So we'll move up a little bit. They don't want to give us 5. How about if I just include like another second? I mean, this is just ridiculous. Like the fact that they have that many picks, and honestly, I'll give you one of them. You can take this Jazz pick. Actually, the Jazz might suck. I'm not supposed to have those Nuggets picks, I don't think, so I don't want to abuse them. I'll give you a 76ers pick. We now have the 5th overall pick. I don't necessarily need anybody specifically. I'm probably going to go ahead and take fit over need, or fit over like best talent available. Victor goes number 1. Shocker there. Chris Livingston, Amani Bates, and Scoot Henderson, who would have been cool to take. Would have been a really cool backup. Keontae George is here. Amari Bailey's here. Derek Lively's here. I don't really know who I'm thinking about taking right now. What I am going to do is like I'll throw up the number 5 overall pick in like Aaron Holiday and just like glance. I don't have anything in mind that specifically that I need. Amani Bates, and Rudy Gobert. Wow, that would be quite the trade. The thing is, like, this is a team that really doesn't have the biggest, like, there's not a gaping hole on this squad. I could just get Scoot Henderson. Honestly, I might just do it and just have him be my backup point guard. I know how good he is. He actually, wow. He actually tends to win Rookie of the Year quite often. Or maybe could go like Pascal Siakam and have him be my new starting power forward. Do I want to, like, it's not, I feel like I'd rather get like a Scoot Henderson, have him be my backup, and then maybe sign a big free agent. I feel like I haven't signed a big free agent in like a super long time. So, we're going to make the trade. Scoot Henderson, welcome to the squad. We also acquired Otto Porter for God knows what reason. But, yeah, we got Otto Porter. Scoot Henderson to 79 overall, going to be coming off the bench. I'm going to bring back Jalen Williams, Poku, Trey Mann, and Giddey. And it might be time to make a pretty big trade. Baisley can get that qualifying. I'm thinking it's time to definitely make a big trade in order to maybe get an upgrade. We obviously really don't have a ton of money. I'm not saying I'm going after LeBron. And this free agency class isn't potentially as good as I kind of wanted it to be. I think RJ Barrett could be a fun one, but I'm assuming he's probably going to get matched no matter pretty much what you do. And then it kind of does take a significant kind of drop off in the level of talent here. So, I mean, like Zach LaVine could be fun. I just like, wow, he actually might go back to Minnesota. That would be interesting. We're going to make a trade before we kind of go a little bit any further. I think it's definitely time to maybe move in a direction where we kind of capitalize on a lot of these assets and make the trade. So I wanted a free agent signing. Unfortunately, by the time next year, we're going to have to do contract extensions, so we're not going to have this cap space. So it was kind of now or never, and unfortunately, I don't really see a reason to sign a Zach LaVine or like a Miles Bridges or somebody like that. I think we do have some bigger needs. So we're going to make the trade, and yeah, let's see what we can get into. Unfortunately, I kind of realized that if I want to make a big trade, I'm going to have to give up some things, so I'm bringing back Lou Dort and Isaiah Roby, and I'm also going to bring back Darius Baisley as soon as the moratorium period is over, and unfortunately, a couple, if not maybe all of these guys are probably going to be included in these trades. So that's the unfortunate part. I just want to show you guys that I brought all of these guys back, and now I'll find a trade. We're going to go ahead and try to acquire Brandon Ingram here from the New Orleans Pelicans. I think this is kind of one of those things that kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, if you know what I'm saying. we really get a significant upgrade at the small forward spot. It's not a shot at Lou Dort. It's just kind of a fact of the matter that in a 3-year rebuild, I got to make decisions, and I really don't have time to let guys progress as much as I would in a 5 or a 10-year rebuild, something like that. But along with that, we'd also be taking away a very, very valuable and very, very good player from a team that we're potentially going to be competing with next year, hopefully in the Western Finals or something like that. But that's all being said, and I don't even know if it is possible to get this trade to go through. I'd also, unfortunately, be willing to give up Jalen Williams, a shooting guard. I think Trey Mans has kind of asserted himself as the backup to Josh Giddey, and it's not a shot at Jalen Williams. I just think it's a move that has to kind of be made. Look at how many first-round picks we have next year. We have the potential for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first-round picks in the 2024 NBA draft. And only 2 of them are protected. We have 5 unprotected first round, or 6 unprotected first round. Wait, is that 8? No, that's 8. We have 8 first round picks next year. That's ridiculous. I'll give you the Jazz pick. Honestly, a lot of these teams are probably not going to be super, super good. But it kind of comes down to the fact is that if I have, like, hypothetically, even 3 top 10 picks, I don't even know what I'm going to do with that. I really don't. But Brandon Ingram's officially on this team. If we kind of break down this roster right now, it's obviously still a really young team. And I do think we're kind of in a spot right now where we maybe could go ahead and make one more bigger trade, but I think I'm going to save that for next offseason, give this team just another year to kind of develop. Unfortunately, the center, Jalen Williams, who we didn't just trade, probably still not going to be playing, as I did pay Isaiah Roby to be our backup center from now behind Chet. Other than that, Poku's still going to be starting. I like him quite a bit. And then Otto Porter, who we got in a trade, honestly can be kind of the veteran presence off this bench. Kind of a little bit more of a stretch forward versus Poku, who's kind of more of the bigger power forward kind of mold. Yeah, I guess that's the right word, if you will. But we're in a good spot. We obviously picked up another star in Brandon Ingram. We now have kind of a 3-headed, maybe 4-headed star-studded, starting lineup. So we're in a really good spot. We were in the play-in last year. I expect to be a full-on playoff team this year. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. Start of the second regular season here in Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, there are just not enough minutes to go around. It's really honestly kind of disheartening that I see some of these guys down here at the lower end of the bench that are getting not nearly as many minutes as they probably should be or would be on a real-life team. But again, this is a 3-year rebuild where I have to make tough decisions, and it kind of goes as follows. So, starting 5 here for year number 2, Shea, Josh Giddey, nothing changes in the backcourt. We obviously had a star acquisition, an all-star acquisition here in Brandon Ingram. At our starting small forward spot, a little bit of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, as I mentioned. Poku, the starting power forward. I don't want to necessarily say the weakest link in the starting 5. He's still solid overall-wise. I just think he's still probably the weakest out of the starting 5. I mean, it's not a bad thing. He's obviously still a good basketball player. I'm just hoping that maybe he can kind of carry us a little, or not carry us, but kind of do his role and be good enough to stay at the starting power forward spot on a championship team, because I do like him a lot. And then Chet Holmgren, our number 1 overall pick, going to be our starting center. He's very good. Trey Mann moves into that 6-man role. I had to make the tough decision between him and Jalen Williams. And it's ultimately going to be Trey Mann. So I went with Scoot Henderson, our number, what did he go, 2 overall, 4 overall, and we bumped up and traded for him. So, yeah, he's going to be our backup point guard off the bench behind Shea, Isaiah Roby, Otto Porter, and then Ousmane Dieng. I'm actually going to switch these 2. I'd actually prefer that. But, again, I'd like to play him probably closer to, 18 minutes a night. I'd like to play Roby probably closer to 20, Scoot Henderson closer to 20. But it's unfortunate. It's what we got to deal with. I got to get the starters, the best players, the most minutes possible. We're going to go ahead and hopefully be a top 3, maybe 4 seed here in the Western Conference. This is my hope. Who knows? I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. A very successful year number 2 here, in my opinion, as we are the 2 seed here in the Western Conference. Again, I mentioned 1 through 4 seed. We're definitely in that realm and definitely potentially competing for a championship. Nikola Jokic wins his 3rd MVP award here at the end of the 2023-2024 season. He's very good at the game of basketball. Victor Wembanyama, your Rookie of the Year. He is in San Antonio. He went number 1 overall. He's very good. Ben Simmons, congrats. Brickleberry wins another 6-man. Giannis wins another Defensive Player of the Year. Cameron Thomas, most improved over there in Brooklyn. Tibbs, Coach of the Year. Are you in Minnesota? I don't know. I really don't care enough. All right, standings-wise, we finished the record of 49-33. So, wow, not a single team in the West had over 50 wins. Tibbs is the Knicks coach. I'm a really, really big idiot. I thought he got fired. I don't know why. All right, let's take a look at the stats on the year. Brandon Ingram led us in scoring, so we added that another scorer, as I kind of mentioned that I wanted. Shea. Chet Holmgren also took another step. Josh Giddey, Poku, Trey Mann, Scoot Henderson, Isaiah Roby, Otto Porter, Ousmane Dieng, however you pronounce it. Again, I'm not very good at names if you didn't know that. Let's sim the play and see what we got here in the first round. Going to be the Dallas Mavericks. So Mr. Luka Doncic, Mr. MVP, followed by Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Giddey. They play Spencer Dinwiddie at the power forward spot. That's not the first time I've seen that happening. It's weird. They're starting Trez over Christian Wood. That's a bold move. Let's see how it works for him. Let's go game by game here with the Dallas Mavericks. We're 1-1 right now. We go up 2-1. We are 2-2. We go up 3-2. And we close them out in 6 games. We are moving on to the New Orleans Pelicans. CJ, Herbert Jones, Trey Murphy, Zion, Jonas Valanciunas. So, as I mentioned, we took away Brandon Ingram from them. They're obviously still a very, very good basketball team. The Zion Williamson effect is very, very real, and he's basically a little bit of a cheat code in this game. Let's go game by game with them, see if we can potentially pick up the series dub. I don't want to say it'd be an upset, but with Zion, you really never know. We're down 3-2, and we lose in 6. Let me guess, did Zion average, 48 fucking points or something this series? He only scored 17. Who shit the bed in this series? Like, that's interesting. I want to go round 2. Come on. Round 2. I don't know why there's like a delay. Okay, here we go. Come on. Okay, Jesus Christ. Shea was fine. Ingram was a little bit lower on the scoring end. Giddey was fine. Holmgren, Poku. Trey Mann actually had a really good series. Henderson, Usman Jang, Otto Porter. All right. Wow, the Celtics going to win the finals. I'm pretty sure the Timberwolves just blew a 3-1 lead, and Jason Tatum finals MVP. Hopefully something that's happening in real life sometime soon. Let's hit the draft lottery, see what we got here. Again, there is potential for us to have a lot of high picks. That Clippers pick. Who else do we have? We have the 7th pick. Okay, let's just sim and see what ends up happening. We get the number 1 overall pick. We also get the number 8 overall pick and the number 10 overall pick. So I mentioned potentially having 3 top 10 picks, and that's actually exactly what happened. Staff signing. I'm still not firing Mark. He really doesn't have the best ratings in the world, but I still think he's fine. I'm not going to fire him. If we don't win a championship, maybe you can look back on that as a little bit of a turning point. But yeah, look at this. It's just fucking ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 picks in this draft. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, is that 7? Yeah, we have 7 first-round picks, including 3 top 10 picks. Absolutely insane. It might be time to make a trade, though. I'll see you guys with the move. So I wasn't quite getting the trade offers that I was hoping for. We obviously really don't have a ton of players right now that we can trade or that I'd be willing to trade anyways. So it was basically just Isaiah Roby, and nothing really popped up that was really kind of worth it for me. I mean, the one trade that popped up that was interesting and kind of enticing was this, but I'm not going to do that. The second one was just De'Aaron Fox. But I would, but I want to roll with Josh Giddey. I really, really do. And I don't really see a way to get him, Shea, and Donovan Mitchell into a starting 5. So, yeah, what we're going to do is we're actually going to draft somebody with the 1st and 8th overall pick, and then we will trade them after that, after we do team player options and everything. So I'm going to trade pick 10 all the way down. I'll show you guys a little bit of a recap after. Let me do that. These are the 3 trades I just made. It's all for future first-round picks. Again, I'm assuming a lot of you guys are probably just saying I don't care. But, yeah, we just had way too many picks. I did not need all of that. We're going to go ahead and draft somebody with the number 1 and number 8th overall pick, and then we're going to probably go ahead and trade that. And it sucks to say the position we're probably going to get an upgrade is at the power forward spot. I like Poku. It's just unfortunately probably not going to be the time that we keep him on this team in the starting capacity anyways. Who's the number 1 prospect? It's Bay Fall. Who are you? I don't know. I'm probably going to take DJ Wagner. Again, I don't know a ton about this draft class. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm not even going to pretend that I really do, but I know a decent amount about DJ Wagner. Or not know about, but I've heard of him at least. I'm pretty sure he's still in high school, actually. We're going to go ahead and take him number 1 overall. I don't know if that's the right pick. It might not be. I might be missing out on somebody obvious, but he's going to get traded anyways. Other than that, I'll take G.G. Jackson, who I know is a 76 overall. That's fine by me. And then we're going to go ahead and make a trade after team player options. Wagner's an 80 overall. G.G. Jackson's actually a 77 overall. So 2 decent picks that potentially could have helped our squad. But unfortunately, it just didn't happen for us today. Jalen Williams can get the qualifying. Still don't know if I'm going to play him. I kind of do feel bad. And then Poku can get that qualifying as well. And we're going to try to make a home run trade. Like a really, really, really big trade. I'm going to actually go ahead and give Poku a real contract. Everybody else is free to go. Actually, we don't even have qualifying on. Or bird rights, excuse me, on Jalen Williams. I think it's because he's a 2nd-round pick. But he is restricted, so that's fine by me. Oni can go. And then I'm going to wait till after moratorium. We're going to get Poku back. He might be involved in the trade. I'm not 100% on that yet. We obviously do have a decent amount of decisions to make. Poku wants a decent amount of money as well. Welcome back, Poku, and I will officially see you guys for the trade. No idea if this is going to be possible, but it looks like the Raptors, fortunately for us, have a little bit of cap space, and looks like I can trade a decent amount of guys here in order to get Scotty Barnes. I'm actually going to try to keep DJ Wagner. I think it'd be cool to roll with him as number 1 overall pick. Potentially could be on the bench. And I don't really want to give up Trey Mann, but honestly, if I can get Scotty Barnes, I'll do it. And that's all it took. Welcome to the team, Scotty Barnes. So, yeah, he's going to be our new starting power forward. he obviously had a really solid year last year, and I'm excited to have him here. He's obviously a very young and still developing player in real life, but I think he's going to be very, very good. He obviously is already very, very good, but especially in the years to come. So, yeah, we're rolling with a 10-man rotation for the final year once again. The power forward spot now is kind of open and up for interpretation, but we still have money, and we can still go ahead and sign somebody and then trade them. So I'm going to probably... Caleb Martin. I'll sign Caleb Martin, and then I'm going to trade him. Just because I can. Why not? And then we'll probably get Jalen Williams back. He can just ride the bench. I feel bad, but probably the reality of the situation. So it's an interesting team. We still have all these picks that I'd be willing to give up. Actually, I meant to do 2 first-round picks. I double-clicked. And one more pick. And just somebody who's a little bit better than Caleb Martin. Again, Nikola Jovic. That would be funny. I'm actually excited to see how he does in Miami. Miami's obviously really, really good at developing players, especially undrafted players. I know Nikola Jovic was not undrafted, but I think it'd be interesting. Could get Trez, Chuma Okeke. 10 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Not bad. Trey Murphy here from the Pelicans. A little bit worse stats. Trey Lyles. So we're getting a lot of power forwards. That's cool at least. All right, let's go ahead and let's take Chuma Okeke from the Indiana Pacers. Not bad. We're in a pretty good spot. I think this team is very, very good. I'm excited to see what happens in the final year, and I'll see you guys hopefully with the champion. I'll see you guys with the rotation, but hopefully with the championship. Final season here in Oklahoma City. We got a lot better. I think that's kind of a fact. The bench keeps getting deeper. It keeps getting better, honestly, in my opinion. And we had to kind of spread out the minutes a little bit more, especially in the starting 5 with the addition of Scotty Barnes. So it goes as follows. A couple guys got a little bit less minutes. That includes Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Brandon Ingram. And it's as follows. Shai, Josh Giddey, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Chet Holmgren. A very, very good starting 5. They're obviously still all playing 32 plus minutes a night. And I'm hoping this can hopefully be a championship team. Bench unit, Scoot Henderson, DJ Wagner. Funny enough, we have a nice young backcourt that's actually still here, and that could hypothetically replace these 2 if we needed, but they're going to be on the bench for us. Ousmane Dieng, Isaiah Roby, and Chuma Okeke. It's a very, very good bench. And I'm hoping for a championship. I'll see you guys at the end of the 3rd and final year. Pretty cool way to end the 3rd and final regular season. Chet Holmgren actually wins the MVP award. 20 points, 11.5 boards, 5 assists. Almost 1 steal, 2.5, almost 3 blocks a game. He's also improved in the shooting department in pretty much every single category, which is awesome to see. Kwame Evans Jr., Rookie of the Year. Obviously, it's probably not going to be DJ Wagner when he's coming off the bench, and this guy's probably playing a lot more minutes and starting. Amari Bailey, 6th Man of the Year. That is ridiculous. 24.5 points off of the bench. How many minutes per game are you playing? He's playing 34 minutes off the bench, so he's playing starting minutes, but that's still crazy. Jaren Jackson Jr., who I'm not going to lie to you, I actually did try to trade for. We obviously ended up with Scotty Barnes, so it's not a bad second option, but Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year, would have been cool to have. Mari Bailey also wins Most Improved off the bench, which is kind of crazy. And we went 71-11. Mark Dagnott. Dagnott? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mark, Coach of the Year. We win 71 games. I did not realize we were that good. I wish the days that it told you your record in the bottom right-hand corner. I don't know why they took that out. Really dumb. We were 20 games ahead of the 2-seeded Pelicans here. And that's obviously awesome to see. Let's look at some player stats on the year. Chet Holmgren, Shai, Ingram, Giddey, Barnes, Wagner, Henderson, and then the rest goes on and on. I mean, overall-wise, I wanted to add scoring. I think we definitely did that. Let's send the play and see what we got in the first round. It's going to be Portland Dame, Keon Johnson, Larry Marketing, Derek Lau. Oh, my God. I feel bad, honestly. I really honestly do wish that Portland would just kind of blow it up. I get that it's hard to trade Damian Lillard, who's been your franchise for so long, but you almost you kind of give it a half-ass effort. You traded CJ, and who knows what's going to happen with Yusuf Nurkic this offseason, and then you're keeping Dame. I know you just drafted Shaedon Sharpe. I know the future's potentially looking somewhat bright if you went ahead and traded for why am I blanking right now? You traded for I almost said Jabari Smith Jr. Traded for Jeremy Grant from the Pistons, but I feel what are you getting? A play-in seed? What are you going for? I don't know. That's just my opinion anyways, and it's obviously a lot easier said than done. Houston Rockets here in round number 2. D'Anthony Melton, Jalen Green, Terry Easton, Jabari Smith Jr., Nikola Vucevic. Interesting, that's in Goon. Jabari Smith Jr., I'm very excited to do that as my next rebuild over there in Houston. I think he's a hell of a prospect, and obviously he was projected to go number 1 pretty much until half an hour before the draft, which is crazy. Memphis Grizzlies here in the Western Conference Finals. Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Dillon Brooks, Jackson Jr., Kevin Love, Josh Hart, Zaire Williams, Kelly Oubre Jr. I think Memphis is going to be a very, very dangerous team for a very, very long time here in the Western Conference. We're 2-2 with them right now. We got a best-of-3 series. We go up 3-2. We're on to the NBA Finals, taking on the defending champion Boston Celtics, who added OG Anunoby to their starting 5. They still got Derek White, Kevon Looney, who at some points torched them in the finals. But, yeah, pretty much the one time I want the Celtics to lose, and we're down 2-0. 2-1, we make it a series. We go down 3-1, unfortunately. 3-2, so we're battling back, and we are just short. Jason Tatum's very, very good. All right. We got close. We won 71 games. Hey, the Warriors won 73, and they didn't win in a season. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's crazy. But this team was still super fun. I mean, look at this team. This is probably one of the deepest teams I've built so far in these offseason rebuilds, and I've had a ton of fun with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. Other than that, we are going to be doing Jabari Smith Jr. with the Rockets next, and then we'll move on to Keegan Murray, and then Jaden Ivey with the Kings and Pistons, respectively, and then on and on and on up the list. Eventually, they're just going to be offseason rebuilds and not prospect rebuilds. If the players aren't good enough, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go ahead and give them their own prospect rebuild. I'll probably stop that eventually, but we shall see. Any other video ideas you guys want to see down below in the comment section? Obviously, free agency is not too far away, so that's going to be something to keep our eye out on. And of course, if we see any major trades happening, we'll get into those as well. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new around here, could subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. That wraps up this one, though. The Oklahoma City Thunder have a very bright future, both in real life and in this game. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I do love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.